Hey guys, welcome back to episode 6. It is time to pump and dump. Last week I totally butchered it and said welcome back to episode 4, and then it was straight up episode 5.
Yeah.
So I can't count.
We honestly didn't even catch it until we had already issued it and then
Right,
went back to listen to it after it was already published.
right. And then once you publish it, you can't go back. And so we
Yeah.
always try to listen to it the day before, but I just totally missed that one. So oopsie.
Oops, don't do it again.
Oops. Whatever. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. We're excited for another week of just getting to hang out and chat.
Absolutely. And we're both wearing red today.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw what you were wearing earlier, and I thought it might be cute to match.
Kind of cute. We should probably maybe continue this
I
pattern.
know. Are you judging me for showing up trying to copy you?
No, red is a very vibrant color. I used to hate the color red, and I don't know why, because it looks great on everyone.
No, red's a good one. I have to be a little careful because my hair is red. And speaking of my hair, it's so damn greasy right now. So that's the one thing that's different. I tried to put some dry shampoo in it, but I can't figure out dry shampoo because every time I put it in my hair, I look like I'm gray.
I can't do the dry shampoo. It makes me feel dirtier.
You also shower 3 times a day.
True statement. Confession. I have to shower because I get hot flashes. I got them.
Yeah.
I've got them pretty much my entire adult life. And then now that I'm pregnant, I'm definitely getting them. And so I have to shower. And if I don't wash my hair, I have to wash my feet at least like 2 to 3 times a day.
I know. I washed my feet the other night before getting into bed after showering, and Sean was like, "You're turning into Julie."
Okay. We should also let the people know in college when we would do spend the night parties at my house, I would not let you enter my sheets without washing your Walmart kid feet.
Okay. I know. I used to be dirty.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can talk about it now and not be too embarrassed. But
Yeah.
I mean, in high school, I would play soccer games and then get in bed. And my mom was like, "Please shower, Maggie." I would shower the next day before going to school, but I don't know. I there's no way I could do that. I go on like a brisk walk now. I'm like, I gotta shower.
Yeah. Well, because everything's just getting wet now. I feel like
Oh God.
no, I'm serious. As you get old, like things that didn't sweat before are sweating. Like my forehead sweat,
My knees sweat.
your kneecaps, your eyebrows sweat. Like we can't even get into the under boob because you can always take a swim. But
Take a swim.
You can just take a dive right in there and just go in.
Some of the things you say are like my favorite, and then also I'm cringing.
That's why when your husband goes back and listens to it, he's like, "What is she talking about?"
I know the dog poop story. He was like, "She did not say that." And I'm like, "Yeah, she did." And it's Julie being totally unfiltered and honest, which is kind of what we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that in a little bit, but like just going back over what this podcast is all about. It's unfiltered conversations that you're having with your best friend. And
Exactly.
we might say some awkward things that other people maybe would never share.
Exactly. And that's what makes us different. And that's what makes us real, raw, unfiltered, which is what we want. So speaking on that, do you want to touch base on what we wanted to highlight in the beginning?
Yeah. So y'all listening, you might have noticed there's just a little bit of a change in our intro. So the first intro was really kind of mom focused, and we didn't really highlight the fact that we are 2 best friends. We've known each other now for almost 12 years. We're lifelong best friends. And we're just having, like we just said, we're just having an open, honest conversation. And I think the intro was kind of turning some people off to not listening, particularly people who don't have kids yet, not planning on having children, but we don't want to shut it off to those girls. So there was a girl I knew in Florida that I Snapchatted her that me and Sean were listening on the back porch, drinking wine. She was like, "Oh my God, I love it, but I haven't listened yet. I don't think this would apply to me because I'm not a mom." And I was kind of bummed because I'm like, dang, you're like the perfect person to listen to this, because we're not just talking about mom stuff. We're talking about, I got cut off at a bar the other day. Like, crazy stuff that happens when you feel awkward, anxiety, our celebrity Britney Spears crushes. Like, it is not just focused to moms. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a mom. You're about to be a mom. So there's definitely going to be mom conversations in there. But really, so the girl that records it, she texted me. She was like, I kind of like that y'all redid the intro, because her looking at it again, she's not a mom. She was like, it's honestly to me like a women empowerment podcast.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think she was, I'm like, that's really sweet to say. I feel like, I don't know if we're there yet, but it's just, I mean, I'll say this over and over. We're two best friends that were having super honest conversations. And the best thing we got, like episode 1, was when people were saying, we just felt like we were in the room with you guys.
Yeah.
And then something happened episode 2. We just were like, let's get really deep into our anxiety. And
it was way too deep. I think that we were trying to go I mean, to be quite frank, balls to the wall with this whole podcast thing. Like we totally skipped over all the important key highlights of like who we are, first and foremost.
Wasn't that episode supposed to be who are we? Wasn't that the Q&A?
Yeah, it was the Q&A, and it turned into like
we are anxiety driven.
I am so anxious. Although those are good topics to talk about.
Yeah, they are.
I think that it is good that we highlighted them. I think that we just maybe just push the gun a little bit, or what's the saying?
Full throttle, maybe?
We went full throttle too soon. Yeah. And so we're gonna dial it back and kind of just be real, raw, just straight conversation that anyone would have.
I don't know though. You saying us being full throttle, I kind of feel like that's how we are though. Like True. If we're gonna do something, we're gonna go.
We're gonna do it now. We're gonna do it now.
Yeah. And we're going to put everything we've got into it. And, like, I feel like in college, I had a couple of nicknames, but I used to be like, I'm going full throttle. Like, I'm not just going to have a couple glasses of wine. Like, we're having 3 bottles
of tequila.
Oh God. I would be dead now doing that.
Yeah. It was vodka back then. And, I can't, to this day, cannot drink vodka.
Aristocrat. Remember that?
We were so classy.
Ooh, yeah.
Classless.
Super classy, super rich. And that's why we were drinking like $5 handles.
Speaking on, when we say super rich, obviously we're joking.
Because, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, we're kidding. Because you and I both got allowances in college. And it was so funny whenever we would get our quote unquote payday from our parents, we would just feel so rich. I'll just say it. We felt so rich. Yeah. And it was just like a couple $100s to last us like an entire month and a half. The moment we get paid, we go so immature, straight to the bar, spend all of the money at the bar buying everybody else drinks because we're like, oh, we can afford this, la, 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 la. And then the next day we wake up and we need to go buy groceries, legit be a human. And we're swiping the card at Publix, telling the checkout lady, this might decline, just to like minimize the embarrassment. Yeah.
You got to go ahead and put it out there because nothing's worse than when your card gets declined. So when you get ahead of it and you're like, this is probably going to decline, it's not as bad. I remember I had the withdrawal fees, like if you, overdraft fees.
Yes.
And I think I actually just got that taken off because I was just hitting I think it was like $30, just overdrafting all the time. And then my dad was like, let's just take that capability away.
Yeah.
And when you don't have any money, you don't have any money. So you spend your Bama bucks at Domino's.
Oh my gosh. That is just too... Wow, those were the days. I will say I still sometimes get PTSD when I go and I'm shopping and the card reader's messed up. But I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I just have flashbacks to when we were in college and our cards were constantly declined.
Yeah.
And it truly is PTSD from just how immature we were. It kind of makes me cringe thinking about it to this day. Anyways, all that to say, those were the days. But getting back on topic of our rebrand, we really just want to be relatable to everyone, not just moms, but women of all ages, teens.
Okay,
let's phrase that.
Children,
kids.
All that kids show.
We really want to. Young women, young adult women, you know what I mean?
You're butchering it because I'm going to go ahead and say right now that Sean's mom is actually listening and he made a really good point. So a couple of her friends are even listening now, which I'm like, oh Lord. I told her, I was like, please don't judge me. And I'm sorry for the things I'm probably saying about me and your son.
Yeah.
But she was like, it's really cool to listen to because it takes me back to being a young mom.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it's cool for her and her friends to now talk about like, oh my God, do you remember when that was happening when we were still drinking wine with our friends and girls' nights and everything, like trying to figure out being, in your young 30s. And
yeah.
So it's cool. I don't know if we're going to limit it to, not teens.
Definitely not teens. I misspoke there. I meant like women, young women, and, older women.
Yeah. I mean, our moms are liking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing too, I think when you get older, like even in my head, sometimes I feel like I'm 19, but I'm not. Yeah. And so I think my mom talks about it too. She's like, I feel like I'm 35.
She looks 35. Okay.
She really does look 35. So she can just keep going with saying that.
Yeah.
But, and actually my grandmother too, she's 81 years old. And in her head, she's like, I think she said she was like, maybe it was her that said she felt 35. I don't know. I do feel like at a certain point, you just always think of yourself this one way. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm 29 now. What?
Yeah, I know. I still feel like I'm too young to be doing like the things that we're doing now, to be a mom, to have a real job. And like giving advice to younger kids. It's just crazy. All right. Well, we're just going to have to accept the fact that I have butchered some of my sentences, and I'm just going to blame it again on pregnancy brain.
I think it's totally acceptable to do that. Okay. I think you can blame it on pregnancy brain for the first year of your child's life.
Okay. So moving on, before we get into our pump and dumps of the week, I think that we should crack open our non-alcoholic brewskis. What are you drinking?
DC.
All right. Let's crack them.
All right. On count of 3?
Yeah. Let's do it together.
All right. 1. Julie, 2. You just opened it.
That's not the crack.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know what you just did. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Do you want to start it off?
Yes. So I'll start with my dump. I could probably make a pump up, but to be honest, I think the dumps are more entertaining anyway.
Yeah.
Mine, you already know the story, but we haven't really talked in detail about how truly awkward this was. I had my most uncomfortable moment in my career thus far yesterday. All right. So let me just walk you through what happened. I was talking to a client on the phone, and Sean then put in so we had probably been on the phone for about 5 minutes. Sean then connected to his Bluetooth and put in his earphones. And then so he heard our conversation. Well, then it took away me hearing the guy.
Right.
So as soon as Sean picked up, the guy is like, why don't we just FaceTime? And Sean was like, wait, I think you're actually on the phone with my wife. Hold on. Let me go hear her. And I was hearing this happening because we both work from home. I was hearing this happening outside the door. So then I was like, what's going on? And I was holding my phone like up to my ear. And as I pull away my face, and I see he's on the screen. So I never heard him say, let's FaceTime. Well, he was not wearing a shirt.
Oh my God.
So that's just right there. Why was he FaceTiming me? Why wasn't he wearing a shirt? The only thing, because Sean and I are like trying to piece this together. Like, right. Why did he FaceTime you? Did he not hear Sean correctly? Of like, you're on my wife's phone. And then he thought, like, do I bring this up to this? So now he's like one of our clients.
Right. Like, is he going to expect you to FaceTime every time?
That's what Sean said. Like, maybe if you want to FaceTime, can we, first of all, like, let's do it on Zoom or a Teams meeting. Why are you FaceTime me? And why weren't you wearing a shirt? And he was pretty good looking. So I'm feeling very awkward. First of all, looked like absolute doo-doo yesterday. Then Sean's like, why is your client FaceTiming you? And I'm getting so red and hot, like feeling like I did something wrong. I mean, Sean was he knew that it was an accident. He was like, dude, that's weird.
That is weird. Why is he shirtless? Was he pantsless? Like, that's the other question we have to ask ourselves.
Well, and also the angle that he was holding it was like from his chest up. So it was a weird angle anyways. Like, he was holding the phone down below his face. Like, he wasn't holding it up how most people FaceTime.
Ew.
It was so weird. And
like, a clear shot of the pectorals.
Oh, clear shot. Clear shot of the pecs. Yes.
Wish you should have screenshot. Oh no, because then he would see. He would see.
Oh yeah, it does give you the
It does.
notification
It
now
does.
that you. Oh my gosh, how awkward would that be?
Dang, I really wish I could have like been a fly on that wall. The
And then we had to finish the conversation.
my other question is, okay, we've already established that he was good looking.
Yeah.
Did you look cute when the FaceTime came in?
No, girl. No, girl. And I will say that I am like, I like the picture in my signature in my email. I
Right.
look pre-baby, like pretty skinny. I did not look anything like that photo yesterday. So I'm sure if he called me, he was like, whoa, this isn't what she looks like. And then, yeah, my other question is this going to be an ongoing thing? Because I do have some clients, like, once you start texting with them,
Yeah.
then you've set the tone. They know you're fine with texting, which I rarely try to do that. Maybe like when I'm traveling or something, I'll be like,
Yep.
hey, I can't text or I can't email. Here's the text. We're still working on it. I mean, being in sales, you kind of have to be readily available,
You're
but I'm
always
not
on.
readily available to FaceTime.
I am never readily available to FaceTime anyone other than my close knit friend group or family.
Yeah. And even now being virtually, like you have to be ready for these Teams meetings. We jumped on a call earlier with somebody else we work with, and you guys were so put together. And I was like, wait, you need to give me, first of all, she just called us and I was like, I'm not ready. Like if you call me unexpected, you need to know I'm not going to look good.
Be prepared for the monster you're about to see.
Mm-hmm.
I was only put together because I actually went in the office today. So that's the only reason.
And then that's when I saw your shirt and I was like, I'm going to try to copy her.
We're going to go red on red. I think we're going to make it a thing, guys. We're going to match every episode. That could be cute. Our rebranding is our new description, new type, and then, matching.
They're literally obsessed with each other. They even dress the same. We are dressed the same in our promo picture.
Speaking on matching, this has been like a trend my entire life because growing up, I had a best friend in elementary school and we would call each other every single morning to make sure that we were both going to wear the same pants, the same shoes. Are you going to wear this hair tie? Like we wanted to match every single day.
Down to the hair tie.
Down to probably the panties. Like, are you wearing Wednesday panties today?
Are you wearing your thong or your boy shorts?
Thong in elementary school?
No, I'm kidding. I don't even wear those now. That's funny. I feel like you were destined to have a sister.
I know, and I never got it. And honestly, up until like a couple of years ago, until I really grew up, I had always been telling my mom, I want you to have one more kid and I want it to be a girl. Yeah. And now that I'm older and I know like, okay, that's honestly not feasible. Like at their age.
Right.
I've always
That's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe if you have a girl, you can do the cute mommy and me stuff.
100% I'm going to match.
Me and my mom used to do that.
It's so cute. I stand for it.
Yeah, me too. And then, okay, I will say my pomp, we went to, I know I said I didn't have one, but I'll brag on my friends a little bit here. We went to it was just a get together. It wasn't a birthday party. We went to a get together on Saturday at our friend's house. Her parents were in town and we're only there's only one other couple that has a baby. It's actually Aleja, who was on our, it was a guest star. So not all of our friends have babies, but it is really cool. Like when you go to parties, a nice thing is if your friends are willing, they watch your baby and they get to play with your baby. So it's so nice to be around your baby.
Yep.
But have other people play with them so you can like sit and watch. And it's really cool when you watch your friends like fall in love with your child. Yeah. And it's like you guys had this relationship previously and then now they like love hanging out with your kid, which I am super excited for you now moving back to Atlanta. You're going to be around so many of your close friends that like truly fall in love with your baby too. And it's awesome. So I had so much fun just watching everybody like down on the floor playing with them. They had a dog that they were like playing. What's that called?
Tug of war.
Yeah. I'm starting to butcher my words now too. Yeah, that's fun. And I can't wait for you to do that too.
That is so awesome. I mean, number one, it's hard not to fall in love with your baby. He's so freaking cute. Now he's got the cute little helmet.
No, we haven't even talked about that.
We haven't. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that as one of your pump or dumps.
So Tipton is 9.5, almost 9.5 months old, and he is on the move. He's pulling up on everything, which means he's falling down on everything.
Right.
And we had to get him a helmet because the back of his head was flat. So he's in a helmet for 3 months, and it's honestly kind of a lifesaver because we have hardwood floors and he goes down hard. And I was videoing him the other day and he just fell, like totally fell on the back of his head. And then I think he cried for a second because I think the sound scared him.
Yeah.
But that thing is like saving his life and making me so much more chill. Like,
I love
because
it.
I know if he falls, he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I guess I haven't talked about it, I announced that he was getting this helmet. And then like, I feel like all the pictures I post of him, I don't have the helmet on his head. So people are probably like, she's not doing it right, but he's allowed to be out of it for an hour a day. And that's usually when I'm like taking pictures, because I don't want every picture of this 3-month phase of his life to be in this helmet. Yeah.
The video was absolutely hilarious. I think I watched it over and over like 12 times in a row. And it's so perfect because he falls just directly on his forehead. And all you hear is from the helmet. And then he just like, it's that cute little cry.
Well, I was kind of nervous sending it to you because I was like, is this new mom going to judge me?
Oh my gosh.
You'll get to you'll get to points and you're like, they're going to be okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They're pretty resilient.
I feel like I'm the least judgmental when it comes to pretty much anything.
True.
And especially like mom related, because I know every single mom is different. Every single pregnant, like everybody's different in the way they raise the kid and they raise, in the way they nurture their body when they're pregnant. Some people drink during pregnancy and some people don't. So, everyone's different. So no, I would never, ever judge.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to be the helicopter mom that like any fall or anything like that. But because we have such a chill human, I do think that a little bit of that is because I was pretty chill during pregnancy. So I'm just trying to continue that as long as possible, because then I do know like there are going to be certain times like when I am absolutely freaking out, but I know a bump on the head now, especially in a helmet, like he's okay.
Do they make this for adults? Because we definitely need them. You definitely needed it in college.
I 1,000% needed it in college, specifically the one night I hit my head on a manhole.
Yeah, it was.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. I should share. We were all out, guys, at a couple of bars, and a couple of us girls were like walking ahead on the sidewalk. Maggie's scraggling behind, 10 or 12 feet.
Scraggling.
Yeah, no, legit scraggling. And she sees us up ahead. So she starts running to like catch up and trips over is that like, what is that? A sewer? Where I
thought it was called a manhole, like
the manhole, but the sewer water, the water drains into that thing underneath.
Oh, is that what I fell on?
Yeah. And so you tripped over that and then hit your head smack right on the manhole.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so funny. I could not. And back then, I'm a horrible friend. I couldn't do anything but laugh at you. I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. All of us were just like pointing and laughing, but in legit, you probably should have been rushed to the emergency room.
Yeah, because we walked into the sorority house the next morning and I had a golf ball, maybe even softball size welt.
No, it was a knot.
It was a knot. Yeah.
Knot. Yeah, it was
and
bad.
Then I have a huge knot on my forehead where my brain is. I should probably go, but I was all right. And yeah, what the heck? Why didn't you and our friend did not help me up? I'm like, would that happen now? What would you do now?
Oh no, now I would get my first aid kit out.
Now I would get my phone out. Thankfully.
Now I would take a picture on Snapchat, save it, and help you. Okay, so I don't have any pumps this week. Unfortunately, just nothing really stood out as like the most fantastic thing to share. I have 2 back-to-back dumps. So my first dump, I'm just going to mention is, you can probably tell I'm super stuffy in the way that I sound. I got a cold randomly, which is like the worst timing of everything because I'm pregnant and can't take anything.
Yeah.
And so it's been lasting. This is like day 4. And thankfully I can breathe, but I got to the pure misery level of like, you're so sick. I woke Ruben up one night and I'm just crying because I'm in so much pain. I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've blown my nose so much to the point of raw. It's so raw and it like looks like I have boogies hanging all up my nose, but it's just my skin is like flaking. I know. And so like I had to go into the office today and I was like, dang, they haven't seen me in, 6+ months. And now I have this dry ass nose. So
you look super cute though. I feel like you being in the face and you're very cute pregnant. No one's looking at your boogies.
No one's looking at the boogies, but it's just like the little things that you notice on yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. Okay. So on top of that, I am now at Ruben's mom's house. Here I am in another transition phase. We're recording from his little sister's room.
Mm-hmm.
On the way back from Alabama to Georgia, I was on the phone with you. We're chit-chatting. I just get lost in conversation and my foot just is so heavy when I'm driving. I can't help it. It just gains like 1,000 pounds. So I'm speeding and there's a cop. I didn't see it. He's totally undercover, radaring from an overpass and just gets me this. And it's me and 8 other people get pulled over at the same time by 8 different cops. So they trapped us. And anyways, I thought this officer was going to be so lenient with me because I'm like, oh, he totally knows I'm pregnant. No, he doesn't. I'm wearing like a t-shirt. And when you're wearing a t-shirt sitting down, you can't see shit. Like there's nothing showing. So anyways, he was so nice. And I tried to like manipulate him, telling him I have a clean 7-year record of no tickets, no warnings, nothing. He didn't have it. I got a ticket. So that's just.
Have you ever talked your way out of one?
Yes, I've cried my way out of plenty. I don't know if you knew this, but when I was in high school, I had a very, very bad record. So you can only get 12 points on your driver's license.
Yeah.
And I had 11 points when I was in high school. Yeah. So from like wrecks, tickets, anything. And I almost got kicked off my mom's car insurance.
No way.
Yeah. It was
my gosh, my
really bad.
So mad. Well, I'm surprised you weren't able to turn on the waterworks with this one.
I know. I don't know. When I see officers, I just kind of get nervous. I don't know why.
Me too. Oh,
my heart
too. I'm
sinks.
so awkward.
Yeah. Thankfully, this guy, Officer Webb, he was so nice. I read
shout out to Officer Webb.
He's
not going to let you off if you give him a shout out right now.
He's not. He's not.
Do you know how much the ticket is yet?
No, the one thing I will say, I guess this can kind of be a pump, is thank God I wasn't in Georgia when I got the ticket because I was going 17 miles over and that would be a super speeder in Georgia.
Right.
And your tickets are doubled. So
yeah, you told me, well, we were on the phone. You're like, I'm pretty sure I'm about to get pulled over. Yep. About to get pulled over. Yeah. And then you called me back and you were like, yeah, I was going 87. I'm like, duh. But you got baby on board now, Julie. You better slow down.
I know. But I was keeping up with traffic. It wasn't like I was like speeding past everyone. I wasn't going slow, but I was just keeping up with my neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses in Atlanta. Okay.
Well, they don't care. It's also the end of the month. They were trying to reach their quota.
Although I did mention to him, he was like, ma'am, you were going so fast. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. I was trying to be all like Miss Innocent. I was like, I was just listening to my podcast.
Yeah. What does that have to do with it? He'd be like, I don't care one bit.
I thought he would have been like, oh, she's so sweet. Just getting educated.
Girl, everybody has podcasts now. Yeah. And I'm starting to figure that out. Like I was just clicking through Instagram the other day or I was looking at Caitlin Bristow and then looking at everybody that she has on. I'm like, no, everybody has a podcast now.
I was actually listening to Caitlin Bristow's podcast.
Oh, okay.
When I got pulled over.
Which I will say, it is awesome that we have as many listeners as we do. I posted last week that we have, I think now we've hit 1,000 listens, total of plays and listens, plays and views, because we're also posting it on YouTube.
Yep.
And that's pretty awesome. We're just a little over into 1 month and 1,000.
That's really good.
I mean, I'm happy about it.
I'm very proud of us. We need to continue the streak and we just need to continue getting better.
Oh, we're up.
So I have a confession.
Okay.
Earlier,
I didn't know what you're about to say.
What?
Go ahead.
Earlier when we were recording and you were like lifting your head back, laughing at something funny we said. You You had a boogie. It was big.
Listen. That's like one of the things I'm so self-conscious about too when I'm talking. So I even saw myself lift up. First of all, sometimes the video is a horrible idea because I'm gonna have boogies. Okay.
Actually, I should have just told you, but I didn't want everyone on the pod listening to be
Right.
imagining you with a boogie, and now they're going to.
I'm always cool. I'm super self-conscious when I get into the pool, because don't you people's boogies just fall out in the pool.
You're mute. You're in high school, I would get so embarrassed coming up. I was like, is there a worm coming out of my
Oh my gosh. I remember I was dating this guy briefly, but it was during the summer and we went to his pool and he had a booger and he was very
break up with him.
It didn't last long after that. No, but he was also very, very put together, like super, super type A.
Yeah.
And I was so nervous to tell him and he was awkward. And I think I was like, you got a little bug. He was mortified. I'm like, this is not going to last if I can't tell you. You have a booger.
Literally, I was going to ask you if you're one of those people who will tell someone that there's like shit in their teeth, or
it depends.
You let them right out.
I asked Sean that the other day. I was like, if you go to a client meeting, and say, for example, you're with like a girl, or would you say, hey, you've got some lettuce in your teeth? And Sean is the best at delivering uncomfortable messages. I think it's just, he's very matter of fact. The way he said it, he'd be like, hey, Julie, you got some lettuce in your teeth. And then she'd be like, oh God, okay, I'll get it. I'm like, you have lettuce.
Okay. First of all, I feel like every time I'm at your house, Sean
always got shit in your teeth.
Sean always interrupts me and tells me there's shit in my teeth.
Oh God.
I'm super pumped because we're going to do our first in-person little teaser / maybe a little pod episode while we're together.
Yeah. The beach is going to be awesome. We're going to get a record. And then we're also going with one of our other best friends from college who she's got a baby just a couple months younger than Tipton. It's going to be their first time meeting. That's not true. We're actually seeing them this weekend. Sorry, you can't be there.
Are we nervous
about
beach and babies?
I am a little nervous just because I feel like I'm going to have to be so on, like even more so than being here, just because one, it's not our house. It's not baby proof. And then like, what's the deal with babies eating sand? Is that kosher?
I don't know. Sand sandwiches. I think it's going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen because he's putting everything in his hand and then you got to think about, or everything in his mouth and then the sunscreen, and it's just going to be like coated. So he's going to have a thin layer, I would think, of sand on him anyway.
Ew. I hate sand.
I do too. I do love the beach, but like, I don't really like sand in my bikini. I'm not a big fan of the ocean because I'm so scared of it.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is we're going to go down in the mornings, maybe get some beach time in, and then she's got a pool. How was it shopping maternity clothes for the beach?
Oh, yeah. It was horrendous. Horrendous.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I'm loving seeing my stomach change. I think it's so fun. But one pieces in general, I've never been a huge fan of, even when they became like a big thing over the past like year and a half or two. One pieces have become like a statement piece. But I feel like my body, even not pregnant, is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Square. I don't really have like that curve. So anyways, I had tried on this bathing suit. I don't even think it was maternity. And it was just absolutely horrendous. And I am so pale. It's to the point of like, it's disgusting.
No, it's not disgusting.
It's disgusting. So when I was home a week ago, my mom is really tan right now and she tans so easily. And we compared legs side by side. And she truly was like, Julie, you're translucent. You have to sit out in the sun at least 15 and 30 minutes a day. That vitamin D will be great.
True. The vitamin D is good for you, but I am over the super dark look.
Yes, but you're a great color right now. But I'm having to bronze my arms with my bronzer in the car. And I wear sleeveless shirts because it's just, I mean, I'm truly going to be staking for a beluga whale, like white and huge on the beach.
Well, we've already agreed that there are going to be no candid photos, at least that are posted. If there's a cute moment of me and Tipton, I don't want to say don't take it because I'm worried about what I'll look like. Because I know that's the whole thing. Like I'll look back and say, why didn't we get any beach pictures?
Yeah.
But don't post it, please.
No.
Okay.
We're past that. We're past that uploading like every single photo. Because sometimes you want to keep special moments just to yourself.
Yeah. That's so true. That was deep.
I know. And you know what? Shout out to Caitlin Bristow because she wanted to keep her proposal episode hidden.
Did she really?
And not share it to the world.
Okay, those of you who are listening, if you don't know, Caitlin Bristow, like one of at least my podcasting idols, her now fiance proposed on the podcast.
I was sobbing. I'm not going to lie.
And that's very sweet.
It was such a sweet episode. So anyways, she didn't want to share that with the world because she was like, that's something we should just keep for the both of us and look back and watch it with our kids.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So same thing goes. Like, you know, you're going to want to have special moments and not have them out on Facebook.
Talking about maternity clothes and bathing suits. I had this one bathing suit that I wore the entire pregnancy. And I literally wanted to have a ceremony to burn it. I freaking hated. I was big. We've already discussed. I gained 70 pounds. It was crazy. I was pregnant during the summer. So we're also in Dallas where it's so hot. So like, regardless of how big I was last summer, I needed to go to the pool or else I was going to have a heat stroke.
Right.
And it was just this black, frumpy bathing suit that, oh man, my legs were rubbing together and it was awful. But a good thing about being up in a pool, you feel like so weightless and you feel light.
So true.
So I think we're going to be spending a lot of time at the pool so you can just like kind of float.
Yeah. People look so much skinnier in pools too.
Oh yeah. Maybe that will be where I want my pictures taken in the pool.
Yeah. Cause like underwater photos, I remember I used to take these like in high school and I'd be like, dang, it's so funny. It's so funny. Stop it.
No, Julie, that's what I transition. That's my transition. I always make fun of myself.
Wait, cause you make noises?
We're still recording.
I know.
Oh. Okay, go ahead with what you were going to say.
Okay, so it's funny listening back to our recordings. Now we're noticing little things that we say often. In the first couple episodes, it was like, and then it was and now we've noticed that we cut each other off mid-sentence. So I feel like each episode we're kind of getting a little bit better and better. And so
but the transition you just used right now was it's funny. And so that's
and nothing's funny.
That's exactly. So listening back, I'm like, yeah, it's funny because my aunt died. Like,
oh God.
My aunt did not die, but I'm about to do it again. I'm trying to do other things other than
what's a good transition?
But in other news,
secondly,
yeah, we should just look up like transitions.
Okay, how do you? This is a good segue. How do you transition an email?
Okay,
paragraph. You know what I mean? So additionally,
space. Oh no, yeah,
additionally,
right.
Yeah,
and then I'll usually wrap it up with finally if I'm making a lot of points.
Finally, in conclusion.
Exactly.
It's funny because
now we're like, okay, I've gotten better at emailing. It's a lot shorter. I'm more to the point, but we were talking about like, we grew up texting all the time. So that's just something that we're very used to. Like not a lot of phone calls.
Nope.
And even a generation, I mean, Sean is only 10 years older than me, but he thinks it's crazy how much we text all the time. Like our friends, he was like, why don't y'all just pick up the phone call? You're going to get your question answered. I'm like, well, because we're talking about other things other than the question. And I don't want to talk to somebody on the phone. So I like cringe when my phone rings, and that's bad. Sometimes being in sales, I'm like, can you just send it in an email, please?
Email me. And that's the thing too, is like, we'll be having a full blown text conversation. A different conversation via Instagram DM, and then a separate conversation via Snapchat. So just so many different things. But I feel the same exact way when I get a phone call. I'm like, damn, I know exactly who this is.
Right.
I don't want to pick it up.
Right.
Email me. I'm going to respond immediately.
Yeah, it depends. I have to be in this like sweet spot of my day, which is a couple coffees in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like kind of hitting that caffeine high and wanting to talk to people.
Yeah.
And I did talk to somebody on the phone the other day who was an older gentleman, and he was like, thank you so much for answering my phone call. Like, your generation, like, he even called it out. He's like, your generation just doesn't want to talk on the phone. And of course I had to like play along, but I know they suck, don't they? And I'm like, you can reach me anytime. But in my head, I'm like, please don't call me.
Please don't. I'm all about the emails. I will respond immediately to an email. Even with Ruben, when he wants me to do something like bill related, like for example, pay a hospital bill, he'll tell me all day, every day, you need to pay this hospital bill. And I'll be like, okay. And it goes in one ear, out the other. And so finally I just got to the point and I was like, if you want me to do something, send me an email.
That's really funny.
He was like, you can't be serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm dead serious because I'm at my desk every day and I'll do it.
Well, my thing too is like we're getting a lot of leads in, and sometimes it's a little transactional. So if I step away then for a phone call, it's like, just don't sounds bad. Don't interrupt me when I'm like in the zone, emailing, knocking things out in all these different websites. I got my 3 screens working. So then when I step away and have a 20-minute phone call or whatever it may be, it's like, we just wasted so much time. You could have asked me these questions.
Wasted. You had we just wasted so much time.
I heard it. I feel like I sounded like Steve Buscemi. You know who he is?
Bobby Buffet.
No. Wait, maybe.
Bobby Buffet from Waterboy. Is that his name? Bobby Buffet?
Bobby Buffet is Will Ferrell.
Oh, who's Waterboy? Adam Sandler?
Not Will Ferrell. Oh my gosh. Adam Sandler.
I know it's Adam Sandler, but what's his name? It's Buffet.
Yeah, Bobby Buffet. Steve Buscemi is in all his movies. Hey, if we want to talk about something really awkward, we can talk about that time that I met. Well, why do I keep saying Will Ferrell? Adam Sandler.
Oh, you did. You did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
awkward to hear about it. Yeah. I honestly thought that was going to be my breakthrough moment. That I was going to say something absolutely hilarious, and he was like, you need to get on SNL. And what I've come to realize is I am not funny, actually. Yeah.
Thanks. You were wearing a Braves jersey.
It was not a jersey. It was a cotton t-shirt, but I was huge. It was, I look like a linebacker. And that was when I was trying to wear a lot of makeup to cover up. This is also not pregnancy weight. This is just fat college Maggie. Anyways, he said these so we had a good conversation. So I showed up in a Braves jersey and he was like, the Braves are really rolling this year or something. And I guess the Braves were having a good season. And I just like awkwardly laughed. Then my phone starts ringing in my pocket. He was like, hey, I think your phone's like vibrating in your pocket. Nothing. Like I couldn't think of a single thing to come back other than like, can you take a picture with me? They were in Gainesville, Georgia, filming
You couldn't think of a witty comeback?
Not one. Nope.
You were pressured. You were under pressure.
Anytime I've ever run into a celebrity, I've been so awkward.
So it's you're starstruck.
I am so starstruck.
Yeah.
I know. I think that I would be cooler than that, but I'm not.
Yeah, I think it's the starstruck in you, because I think we've always said, what would you do if you encountered like a celebrity? And we've always said like someone, like a girl.
Yeah.
Actually, you've always been the one that you'd be like, no, I'm too starstruck.
Unless, except, like a lot of, this is lame, but a lot of the like previous Bachelor people live in Dallas now. And I've always said like, oh, I would want to maybe hang out with them and I would just be kind of cool. I did meet Raven and Alexis from a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
And I was fine. I was chill with them because in reality, they're not that famous. So I shouldn't. But when Adam Sandler sees you, or I saw the redhead from Sex and the City in New York, Cynthia Nixon, so awkward with her.
Wasn't she mean too?
I just was, I think, bothering her. It was like 9:00 on a Tuesday and we were in the Rite Aid and she was buying diapers for her child. And here I am like, hi. And she's,
my mom loves you.
That's exactly what I said. And why did I say that? I love you too.
Yeah, because you were a huge Sex and the City fan.
Oh, huge. And they're also they're coming out with a reboot.
Are they?
Yes.
What is it?
It's gonna be it's a mini series on HBO, but like the drama is Kim Cattrall, Samantha, the blonde. She's not invited back.
So it's the same cast.
I think they're gonna kill her off. She had cancer. This is my prediction. She had cancer in one of the seasons.
Yep.
I think that it comes back and she's passed away. So it might even open up like with them at her funeral. I don't know. I really hope I'm right because
they had some serious beef. They like weren't friends throughout the whole time.
I know, it was just so awkward when you look back, like when you hear about actors not getting along and it's like their co-star, like the people who used to date and then have to continue, they break up and then have to continue recording, especially if they're like playing a relationship in the show. I would have a tough time doing that.
I've always wondered if actors or actresses, when they're married to another actor or actress, like, do they watch their movies of their significant other kissing scenes?
I don't know.
Or sex scenes.
I would probably have a hard time watching it.
Yeah, me too.
But then I guess if you're an actor, you realize that like when you see behind the scenes of a sex scene and then you look at all the people in the room, like there's no way that's romantic. It's probably really awkward.
No, but some sex scenes are real. There are some movies where I think they really do it.
No way. That's called porn.
Google it. I've read about it. It happens.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Okay. I'm pretty sure. I've read it years ago. No, I'm serious. And then also too, like if you have kids, why am I itching my head like that? If you have kids, like, and they see, oh, mom, why is daddy kissing another woman?
Yeah. I think you don't allow your kids to watch your rated R movie until they're older.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're a bad kid. I always love to watch the rated R movies.
I did too. And now I think that's where some of my, like I used to watch a lot of bad war movies, not bad war movies, but just intense war movies.
Yeah.
Like Pearl Harbor, I literally ran out of that movie. I was probably way too young, but I'm like, why am I watching these ships get blown up? And it's too much anxiety.
Oh, yes. Or
here we go, talking about my anxiety again as a child.
Blues Brothers had like a stripping scene, and I was not allowed to watch movies like that. And like me and my friend like locked ourselves in our room one night and we're like watching this rated R movie. And then my dad like comes bursting in and we're just like, oh, like, what do you say?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny because I bet you wanted to watch it because there was a sex scene.
Duh.
Yeah.
I was like 13. It's like
okay.
Like you're in pubescent years.
Yeah. That's when you start.
You're figuring out all your parts. Things are tingling. You're not sure what's going on.
Again, sitting there with your legs crossed.
Crisscrossing those legs like this feels good.
God, adolescence is so weird.
It's not funny, but it is funny because you used to watch those movies back then, like with kissing scenes and the sex scenes and just be like, ooh, ah. And now that we're older, it's like kind of awkward, especially when you're watching them older with your parents.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I always get on my phone.
I feel so awkward watching. And like, we shouldn't. We're adults. We're adulting. So the takeaway is you definitely need to work on your celebrity encounters.
Absolutely. I will try.
I hate that I don't have any good celebrity stories, unfortunately.
I know, you had nothing to bring to the table on that.
I know. I only have one where we saw Lil Dicky in LA
and he was holding it up. I was also there with you.
You were there?
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't really talk to him.
No, one of our friends was. I had no idea who he was, so I could care less.
And now he's like big. And he said that Ruben went up and talked to him, and he told Ruben, like, next time you guys see me, I'm going to be really big. And then let's
start telling people that.
Tell him what?
Exactly that. Next time you see me, I'm going to be really big.
In my clothes size.
Exactly. Like our podcast is going to be huge and we're physically going to be huge.
I'm physically going to be a whale. It's fine.
All right. So I'm going to wrap this episode up by saying, love podcasting with you. This is so much fun. Mm-hmm. We are hitting our stride, and I'm going to say it right. We're on episode 6, and this is a great way to start your Thursday, end your Thursday, whenever you're listening. I love it.
I hope you guys had so much fun hanging out with us today. Thank you for listening. Come hang out next Thursday for your weekly pump and dump.